Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing good. So as a part of our Python tutorial series, in last lecture we learned about Python variables and data types, right? Now in this lecture we will learn about the control statements in Python, that is if else and switch case statement. Okay, so without wasting time, let's start. So I'll open my idle shell in which we will compile our code, and in the notepad plus plus I have prepared some script to show demo you guys, if else syntax and all. Okay, if else and case statement. So this is my first case where if else no syntax is there. So this is the first example. Okay, and I'm using this definition for the function. Okay, so this is the syntax for creating function, but I'm not going to explain about the function in this lecture. I have created this function and I have taken three input just to take the input and demo you guys about the if else and switch case statement, and I can run these functions no after passing these three parameters. Okay, three inputs. So just for the sake of input I'm using function, but I'll explain function in detail in upcoming lectures. Okay. So this is, let's suppose this is our first function where we are using if else statement, right? So let me just paste it in no idle shell. So just right click and paste. Right. So you can see our definition def increment no employee salary. This is our function name, and we are taking employee ID, salary, and years. Okay. So we are taking employee ID of employee and the current salary of the employee and number of years he has worked in this organization. Right. Based on these three input, we are incrementing the salary of employee. So this is the if block. Right. So if year greater than 5, then salary equals to salary plus 2 lakh, right? So I'm incrementing the salary by 2 lakh, right? And then I'm printing the message with the new salary. Okay, so this is the way we can print in Python. So this is the string message, new salary of employee ID in single inverted comma, and then this plus is the concatenation operator for concatenating the variables with the string, right? So this is a string and this is the employee ID, which is a variable. To convert that into a string, I'm using the inbuilt function str string function that will convert it into a string, and then again concatenating the other string which is with spaces, and then again concatenating the new updated salary, that is incremented salary, which is salary equals to salary plus 2 lakh, right? So this is also get converted into a string. So it will all everything will become as a string, right? Concatenating a string, and that will be printed using the print function in Python. Similarly, we have else if block which is called ELIF. Okay, if you have any if else statement, so this is the else if block where I'm again checking if year greater than 3, then salary equals to salary plus 1 lakh, right? So if your experience is employee experience is greater than 5 years, then increment by 2 lakh. If employee experience is greater than 3 year, increment by 1 lakh. Else there is a else block. Okay, so in else you have to we are incrementing by 50,000. So this is the assignment operator we are using. Salary equals to salary plus 2 lakh. That means salary, whatever value we are passing from here as an input parameter, plus 2 lakh, that will be assigned into the salary, right? So this will be our this variable will have our updated salary, right? And if you see the syntax, so def is used to define the function. So this is the function name. These three are the parameters which is comma separated. I'm not declaring any data type of the variable, right? And then there is a colon. Colon means our function is starting, right? Then again this is the if block, and you can see there is a colon, right? And then you can write all the expressions under if, right? And then again else if, and then no colon, and you can write all the blocks under this else if, and then again same for else, right? So there is a colon after else. So this is the basic syntax of a function and then if else block, right? So once you paste here, right? So if you do enter, so it will again give you one line where you can add more code, but I don't want to add any code, so our function is complete. So I'll again press enter. Okay, so our this function got created, right? Now it's time to call this function. Okay, so we have to pass three parameters and we can call this function just like just no giving the name and then the all the three parameters. Okay, so I'm giving employee ID as 10 and 20,000 as the salary and years as 6, right? Number of years as 6. So year is greater than 5, right? So 6 I'm passing. So I think it should execute this block, right? So let's just do enter. So you can see our message got printed. New salary of employee ID 10 is 2,20,000, right? So I passed 20,000 and it is incremented by 2 lakh, right? So now the new salary is 2,20,000 and this is the employee ID I'm printing, right? So this message got printed. New salary of employee ID, right? And then the employee ID 10, which I'm passing, is printing, and then the new salary, right? So you can see this is the way you can write no a simple function with parameter, and then you can write your if else block, right? This is the syntax, and you can execute this function, and your if else block gets executed, right? So this was the first example, right? Now, in our second example, again we have else same function with if else block. Only difference is the print. Okay, so you can see for print what we used is the string, and then concatenating with plus is the concatenating operator, and then string is the function. Right. So using a string function, we converted this variable into a string and then concatenating everything, right? So this was our first print syntax. There's another print syntax. Okay, so you can print like this also. So if you have print, then in bracket you use F and single quote you can write everything, right? Just that your variable will be in this curly brackets. Whatever is your variable, which is non-string, that will be in curly bracket, and you should have this F, and then everything should be in single quote, right? So let's check this syntax of printing. So let me just copy it here and paste it here. Okay. So you can see our function is same, right? With three parameter, everything if else block is same. Okay. So only thing is difference is the print. So we can see the print in bracket. We have F, and then everything is in single quote, and the variable which we are passing is taking into curly bracket, right? So let's just hit enter. Okay. And then let's see. Okay. So we are here, so let me enter f string. Okay, so because there is a space here, right? So there is a indentation error, right? So let me just again copy this from here and paste it here. Enter. Enter. Okay. So now our function got got created, right? Now it's time to call this function. So I'll just again just copy this call and again paste it here and call this function, right? So now this is our function got overwritten, right? So earlier we created same name function. Now this function again we are creating this function. So our function definition will get overwritten, right? It will be updated. Okay, so let's do enter. Okay, so you can see we have same output, right? Same output, everything is same, right? So this is the another way to do the print, right? So this is a second syntax to do the print. Print the your message and the variable. Okay. Now we'll see another example which is nested if, right? So you can write an if statement, and again in that if statement you can again write an if block, right? So this is called nested if, right? If under if, right? You can write like that. So let me just execute this function. Let me just create this function. So I'll just paste it here and do enter. Okay, enter. So our function got created. Function is same, function name is same with all the same three parameter. Okay, so I'm checking if year is greater than 5, then incrementing the salary, and again I'm checking in second if year is greater than 5, then print, give the print message. Okay, that's how our function will get executed. Okay, so now let me call this again, this new function. So I'll just paste this again, this call increment employee salary and passing the same input parameter, enter. See, so our output is working good, right? So our message, print message is working good, right? So this is an example of a nested if syntax. Okay, okay. Now let's move to the switch case statement. Okay, so apart from if else, you also use if case statements, right, while writing your program. So this is one example where the function name is employee shift. Okay, let me paste it there and then I can explain. So let me just paste it here, or let me just do enter and paste it here. Okay, so this is our function. Def is used, keyword is used to define the function. This is employee shift. Employee shift is the function name in which we are passing a parameter called shift, and then we are doing the match shift, right? And doing match on shift. And here, if case statement starts, if that shift whatever we are passing is morning, then print 5 a.m., right? So this is the employee shift function in which we are passing the shift, which shift, what is the time for which shift, right? So we are passing the shift and it is printing the time for that shift, right? So I'm passing day, so it is printing 10 a.m. I'm passing evening, then it will print 4 p.m. and if I'm passing night, then it will print 10 p.m., right? And this is the way you can, this is the syntax for case statement, right? Match, and there is a default also. So default will be declared like this, case and then underscore, right? Case and this space underscore, right? So this is the way you can use default, right? And you can see a colon is defined, right? So for every, with every case there is a colon, right? So you can see case day, then colon, right? And then case default, then colon, right? So this is the syntax for case statement, and the function definition is same, right? So def function name, then parameter, and then the colon, right? And then function body starts from here, right? So this is the function we have. In by default, I'm giving a message print. It is not a valid shift, right? So let's just execute. Let's just create this function. Enter. So function got created, employee shift. Now let's call this function. Okay. So how we'll call this function? So let me just call this function. Okay. So function name is emp shift, right? So just type emp underscore shift and in bracket you pass the shift, which is morning, right? So it's a string, so I'm taking it in single quote, right? Morning, right? And bracket close and enter, right? So see, it is printing 5 a.m., right? That means our employee shift function is working good, right? We can also call this function for any other shift which is not available in this case statement, right? Like afternoon. Afternoon is not there, right? Afternoon. So let me just hit enter and let's check if default get executed. See, default message is getting executed. It is not a valid shift, right? So this is the first example for switch case statement, right? So you have match on the this shift parameter, and then you have case statement. Case wise you can write your code, right? So this was the first syntax for case statement. Now second syntax is this one. Okay, second syntax we are let me just take it here and paste there. So let me just paste it here. Okay, so enter, enter. Okay, so our function got created. So this is the second syntax in which the function definition is same. Again we are doing match on shift. Okay, only no difference is we are doing writing case shift after case shift if shift equals to morning. Here we are we are doing comparison whatever shift I'm passing if equals to morning then print 5 a.m. right. So this is the another syntax in which there is a match, right. So let's see the difference here. So in which there is a match, right. Here also match shift is there and here also match shift is there, right. So here I'm directly passing case morning and then printing, right. Here I'm doing case on shift what is passed if shift equals to morning. I'm comparing the parameter which is passed, shift is passed. If it's equals to morning then print 5 am, and here I'm directly writing it case morning, right. So if you have some no some if you want to change this shift something, like if you want to compare it with integer or something, so here this is the place where you can modify this shift, right, taking it into bracket and you can apply some function, right. So this is a good syntax, right, if you have to perform some action on the this shift and then compare that with any string or a number, right. So you can do that in this syntax, right. This syntax has not that flexibility, right. So this is the second syntax, right. So our definition got created, function got created, let's call that, right. So let me just copy from here, employee shift morning, let's call that, right. Enter. 5 a.m. right, it is printing 5 a.m. and let's check the default also. Controls, let me paste it here, afternoon. So it is a not a valid shift, right. So default is also getting executed, right. Rest all the syntax is same, right. So colon is there after each case statement, right. So most of the things are same, right. So this was the second syntax. Then there is another switch case statement in function. Okay, so let me just copy this first. Let me just create that this function here. Let me just paste it here. Enter, enter. Okay, so function got created. Function name is same, employee shift, right. Here also I'm passing shift, right. And then here is there is a switch. Okay, and in switch there is a assignment switch equals to what is passed in this curly bracket, all the switching is happening, right. So if I'm passing morning then 5 a.m., day then 10 a.m., evening then it will convert in 4 p.m., night will be converted into 10 p.m., and that will be assigned to switch, this switch variable, right. And then I'm printing, and to get that this switch data, right. So you have to use this function switch dot get, right, and the variable which you are passing shift, right. So whatever here get switched, that will be assigned in shift, and it can be called using this switch dot get function. Okay, so you in the shift variable that will be assigned. Okay, and by default, if you are not passing any valid shift which is not in this switch case, right, then this is the default information which will get printed. Okay, so let's call this function for morning shift. Okay, so let me just paste it here, employee shift morning. So you can see 5 a.m. is getting printed, right? So 5 a.m. is getting printed, right? And then let's call it for default, employee shift afternoon. So let me paste it here. Okay, so it is not a valid shift, right? So default gets executed because afternoon is not in this switch case, right? So these are the different syntax for switch case, right? So you saw three no syntax for switch case, and you saw if else statements, right? If else statement, right? So this one is very simple, right? If else statement, and I have also shown two types of print syntax. You can use whatever you find it easy, right. In Python there are a lot of flexibility, lot of options are there, but you always remember at least one which you can always want to use. You find that easy, right. So you always remember that syntax and just use that. Okay, so syntax does not matter, right. Our operation matters. Okay, so you can remember any if else one is simple, right. In switch case I found this one is simple, right. Syntax 2 which has very much flexibility to do everything under the case statement, right. And if else is very simple, right. So I think that's it from this lecture, guys. In the next lecture, we will learn more features about the Python. Okay, so if you guys like this lecture, please subscribe my channel. Thank you, guys.